The outcomes that I create are often surprising. So yeah, you do want a coaching plan and stated outcomes with organizations, things like that. But I noticed that as you go along, there are surprising things that happen that carry systems deeper, carry individuals deeper. And there's learning there that can actually inform the original intended outcome. Or it may be a little bit over here, a little bit over there from the original outcome. One of my clients early on hired me to help him write a book. Not do the writing, but coach him through the process. And I don't know, a couple of months into it, he comes on a call and he says, I had this great learning. I don't have to write this book. And I thought, uh-oh, that's the outcome of the coaching. What does that mean? And what he had discovered is that the book, he was everybody else's idea. That everybody had said as a kid, you should write a book, you should write a book. And so when he retired, he was going to write a book. And then he realized that his creativity was at work in many, many other ways in his life, that he actually released himself from this book project. So then we could work for the remaining time on what he wanted to create from that. A nonprofit wanted me to help them work with governance. And I wasn't real sure what governance was, so I was looking it up on the Google, and they were templates and things like that, and I thought, no, I can't do this because I've got to show up on Thursday with something. So in our work and conversations, and then when we actually got in the room together, I discovered what they were really wanting to know more about and clarify were roles. And so we did basically 3 days worth of work about roles. The outcome that it created for them was the executive director and the whole board realized that exactly what the executive director was trying to do all the time, that was outside his job description and needed in the organization, and sometimes conflicting with other people's roles. But once we actually got it out on paper, everybody stood around and they kind of went, oh my God, that's impossible. That was actually a great moment where there was a felt sense of impossibility, but they didn't really kind of see it. The other amazing thing was working with ghosts. The people on the board who were no longer there, but whose presence were felt. And we did this great thing about, sort of putting that essence energy. It wasn't about Matilda. It was about whatever energy she was expressing that still lived in the organization. Once they discovered the roles, they could design how they wanted to be when that energy showed up in them again. Instead of holding it outside, oh, that Matilda, I'm so glad she's gone, she was so troublesome. So what about when troublesome comes up in the board again, and troublesome is always somebody's always going to be causing trouble. That's good news. Otherwise, everybody would fall asleep. But how do you want to be with that instead of saying, oh, we got rid of that when Matilda left, when in fact, oh, here it is. How do you want to work creatively with what may feel like troublemaking? Well, that, or they do this buy-in thing, which people kind of go along with, and then they leave the room and nobody's bought in at all. So it's much more interesting, I think, to, in a sense, amplify the trouble or the complaint or well, here we are with resistance again, oh no. And I hear the word buy-in, and I know what everybody is wanting, but I don't see it actually happen. I see everybody pretend to buy in so that they can finish the meeting and get back to work. So I guess I prefer to call it alignment, or actually, before that, there needs to be a kind of what is the conflict? What is the resistance? What if we could hear more about the resistance? If we could hear the full voice of the resistance, instead of just little dribs and drabs like a complaining that goes on and on and on. If we could work with that more creatively, we would have a different kind of information and could move forward in a different spirit.